أقسم بالله العظيم أن أحافظ مخلصا على النظام الجمهوري وأن أحترم الدستور والقانون.
The Supreme Election Committee announced on Tuesday, December 25th, that 63.8% of the Egyptians approved the constitution. But the new constitution does not mark the beginning of stability in Egypt, simply because the people have lost their trust for the President Mohamed Morsi, and because of many doubts that have been raised around the transparency of the votes. Dozens have reported improper supervision and intimidation of voters at some polling stations. Sometimes judges present at the stations weren't even real judges, as noted by the supervisor of complaints, Ali Hussam al-Din. In fact, it remains unclear to this moment whether the voting was properly overseen by judges at all, since many of them refused to participate because of Morsi's earlier decisions that made him Egypt's new pharaoh. But the election committee confirmed judicial presence at polling stations and denied such accusations. If we thought more about it, will the committee publicly admit its failure of providing proper supervision, or will it report transparency and honesty? Nothing is as certain as the fact that Morsi has lost his credibility in front of his people. After making an oath that he will respect the law, he issued a constitutional declaration that made his decrees and decisions final and unchallengeable, even by courts. He also decreed that courts cannot dissolve the constitution drafting panel. Liberals and Christians withdrew from the panel as a protest against the constitution that was said to have some documents that marginalize women and Christian minorities. The panel is now unfairly dominated by Islamists. But wait, didn't he say
لن يكون لمصر أبدا دستور كما يقول البعض يعبر عن فئة دون فئة. الشعب المصري مش هيوافق.
So the question is, do Islamists represent the Egyptian society? Now that the panel is dominated by only one sect, what did he do? And as if breaking his oath was not enough, history witnesses for the first time a president sending his Brotherhood group to besiege the Supreme Constitutional Court, only to prevent judges from issuing a ruling that can dissolve the constitution drafting panel and the Shura Council due to Islamist domination. Some would argue that these people do not represent Morsi. Then where is he to stop all of this? He didn't even comment in public about the siege. No one would have ever predicted that a president would watch his people fight in front of his presidential palace without trying to save the situation. The clash left 700 people wounded and at least 10 killed. The Muslim Brotherhood members still insist they wanted to protest peacefully with the other citizens. Perhaps they thought the world was blind to see their crimes, to see them destroy tents of peaceful protesters, or to see their torture centers and detention. Then we see Morsi speaking fearlessly a day later about the violence, without even mentioning his own Brotherhood group's role in sparking the violence. And they say the new constitution will bring stability to Egypt. What kind of stability? The beginning of a civil war is all what Morsi caused over 6 months of presidency. If he's not willing to bridge the divisions and build trust with his citizens, then his resignation will be the right decision before he is overthrown like Hosni Mubarak. One thing is certain for now, is that Morsi does not represent Egyptians, is that he is not my president.